Well, I was going to ask, are you going to be bold enough to predict that Saudi Arabia and Israel will sign some sort of accord, maybe an Abraham Accord?
Yes, not only bold enough, I think Donald Trump he's the one on a timetable because, as you know, because you're an expert on American politics, we have midterms already next year, and there's no guarantee that the Republicans will still hold both houses of Congress, and Trump very much wants his nice big photo op and White House ceremony, and I think it's on Trump's timetable. There's another factor. There are elections in Israel next year at some point. I think that the end date is next autumn, but they'll happen before. And it will be quite hard to do a Saudi-Israel peace treaty when they're in the middle of election campaigns or there's an interim government or coalition building. These coalition building in Israel with all the political parties can take months. So if Trump wants to have a nice ceremony on the White House lawn, he's better off doing it before any election in Israel. And quite frankly, Netanyahu, presuming he wants to stand again, which he might not, but that's another story, will also want to do it before an election. And even if Netanyahu doesn't win an election, I'm sure he'd like a nice picture for the photo books, because this is the big one. Saudi Arabia are essentially leaders of the Arab Islamic world. It's where Mecca and Medina are housed. And we know, if you look back, for people who remember Menachem Begin, another hardline Likud Israeli prime minister, no one else really remembers anything much about him apart from that victory where he's holding Anwar Sadat's hand with Jimmy Carter, and it's the Egyptian-Israeli Camp David peace accords, and now he's remembered in history for all time. And apparently the Abraham Accords to date with the UAE and Bahrain and Morocco and Sudan, with all due respect to those countries, that wasn't quite enough to be an iconic moment in the history books. MBS, for better or worse, and he's a complicated figure, and Netanyahu and Trump, I'm predicting that even if they are not graced with the Nobel Peace Prize, that will be a photo that's taught forevermore in history and other classes. And they all know that, these leaders, and they want it.
Tom Gross, thank you very much for coming on to Spectator TV.
You're welcome. Have a good day.